Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, Ba'ashem, YAHAWAHSHI, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders that I learned this truth from, the men of GMS, and the brethren with the like-minded doctrine. This I got an article that I want to bring out, and it says deployment largest single unit VA National Guard mobilization since World War II. So the Virginia National Guard is has the largest mobilization since World War II. And what is that all coming about is the third woe, which I'm gonna go and get that in the book of Revelations. In the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, it says, let me see. In the 14th verse, and it says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So that's what they're preparing for, the third woe. Um, Salakia. Salakia. Um, this page didn't want to load up, but yeah, that's what it's getting to, the third woe. So the largest mobilization since World War II, because they're getting ready for the war to end all wars, which which is talk about in the scriptures that the nations will not learn war anymore. So I'm gonna read this. After this third woe, the nations will not learn war anymore, as it said in the scriptures. It says Bedford, the Virginia National Guard's Lynchburg base, first Blaton, Slovakia, Battalion, Slovakia, 116th Infantry Regiment, the 116th Infantry Brigade combat team was deployed Saturday after a sent-off ceremony at the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford. Troops will be deployed to Africa to provide a security force for the combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa. The battalion will be providing security for bases the bases the Department of Defense maintains, will help build partnership with host nations and improve safety and stability in the region. So it says they basically sending these National Guards off to maintain, it's like it, to help build partnership with the nations. Over there they build it um over there with the other nations of the world. So what that's talked about, the Valley of Decisions, right? Um, the book of Joel in the 3rd chapter. It says here, Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I'm strong. Assemble yourselves and come up, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahawah. Let the heathen be awakened, Salaki, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all heathen round about. So that's what they're preparing for. That's what they gathering all these troops. The U.S. was also had deployed troops to um what is that Asian country? It's escaping me right now. Um, yeah, I think Taiwan. They sending troops. They had sent troops over there to aid in Taiwan against China. So all these nations are gathering together for that great day, the day of the Lord, the day of YAHAWAHSHI. And it says, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get that. Come, get you down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow. For their wickedness is great." The wickedness of this world, man. Also, Babylon the Great, aka America, man, they promote nothing but wickedness. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. He promote nothing but wickedness here. And the whole world is following after the beast, so the whole world is, for the most part, wicked too. But of course, they had disagreements too. That's all through the spirit. Uh, and it says, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, is near in the valley of decision. So that's what they're gathering for the day of the Lord, the day of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shaphat, which is Yahweh's decision, Yahweh's judgment, which is that's why the Euphrates River is drying up also, which is talked about, and because that's where they're going to be gathered for battle, talked about in the book of Revelations. So I'm gonna get back to this article. It says troops will be deployed to Africa to provide a secure force for the for the combined for the combined joint task force Horn of Africa. The battalion will be providing security for bases the Department of Defense maintains, will help build partnership with host nations and improve safety and stability in the region. This marks the battalion's fourth federal active duty mobilization since September the 11th, 2001, and the largest single unit Virginia National Guard mobilization since 2000. Slovakia, the single unit Virginia National Guard mobilizations since World War II. Let's see what I want to. I want to jump down to because I'm not gonna read all of it. Slovakia. Yeah, they was talking about the dragon. They call it the red dragon. Trying to find that. Slovakia. Give me a second. So like yeah, I have it. Here it says according to the office of Governor Ralph Northam Salakia, who was in attendance and spoke at the ceremony, approximately 1,000 Army National Guard soldiers were mobilized as Task Force Red Dragon under the command of Lynchburg Base 1st Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment, 116th Infantry Brigade Combat Team. So it called it the Task Force Red. They called the Task Force Red Dragon. So what a coincidence, right? No, we know who the Red Dragon is. It's talked about in Revelations. It's basically the beast, which is head, which is led by America, the NATO, the EU, which is led by America, is that Red Dragon. So it says Revelations the 12th chapter and the 3rd verse. It says, "And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 horns, Salaki, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head." So what's that's the United Nations and the EU lead which is that great whole, which is Babylon the Great, aka America, by leading by America. That's that red dragon. So it says that according to the office of Governor Ralph Norton, who was in attendance and spoke at the ceremony, approximately 1,000 Army National Guard soldiers were mobilized as Task Force Red Dragon under the command of the Lynchburg-based 1st Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment, 116th Infantry Brigade Combat Team. So that's that Red Dragon, the NATO headed by the UN. Slovakia headed by the US and the EU, European Union. It says I want to get something else. It says according to Northam office, the troops will join the Virginia National Guard's first Bel Belver Belvier Salakia base 29th Infantry Division and Virginia Beach Base 329th Regional Support Group, already serving on federal active duty in the Middle East. An additional unit will mobilize in the coming months. So what the Middle East? What they gathering for? Like I just read in Joel the 3rd chapter, they gathering for the battle of decision, valley of the gathering in the valley of decisions, which is going to be in the Euphrates River, where all these nations going to gather for to battle, which is going to be the third woe. And it says by January 2022, more than 2,000 Virginia National Guard personnel will be mobilized, the most since Iraq surge in 2007, and it is the most soldiers the division has mobilized since 1942. The unit is one of Virginia's National Guard's most deployed battalions in the last 20 years, and it carries on the rich traditions of the 29th Infantry Division, World War I and World War II service, Northam office said. So that's where I'm gonna leave it off at. I'm gonna probably put a copy of this in the description box. Um, it can be read. You can read it. At your at your leisure. But that's what's happening, man. The Valley of Decisions. Which I'm gonna get this the Euphrates River, cause it's drying up, and you can look that Google that too. You'll see that the Euphrates River is drying up for what the battle the Third Woe, the Valley of Decisions. So it's Revelation the 16th chapter and the 12th verse, and it said the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east, Slakia, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So yeah, these other nations that's gonna gather up to battle this World War III, the kings of the east, which which what is that? These Middle Eastern countries, Iraq, these and what they call it in Slovakia, Iran, and all these other middle Arabian countries. Arabian or yeah, Arabian countries. Um, they gonna gather the battle against the beast, which is America. The um yeah these yeah basically the kings of the east, which is led by Iran and these other um uh, um Islamic countries. They gonna remember what it says. They gonna remember his nature, which who is that Salakia Ishmael, the Ishmaelites. They gonna gather together. They gonna remember their nature. Ishmael's a wild man, but the scripture says and they gonna gather the battle. Because they're gonna be drawn out by Israelis over there, the so called Ish people, the 1948ers. They're gonna draw the battle. Of course, God and Magog, which is Russia. You know, they're gonna aid in Iran. And this war is gonna pop off, and it's gonna bring up the third woe, which is the war to end all. We call it the world. The world call it the war to end all wars, because the scripture said nations will not learn war anymore. They gonna beat their shields. They gonna reverse it. They gonna beat their swords and the pruning hooks and their spears and the Salakia, the swords and the swords and the shears and then Salakia. I'm saying it wrong, but I know you brothers know what I'm talking about. They gonna basically reverse the roles. Everything they gonna beat it back into farming equipment. The metal is they gonna learn war no more. So right now they beating it into Salakia. Let me get that real quick. Yeah, Salakia. Yes, in Joel it says yeah, they gonna reverse this role. It said beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks into spears. So since they're gonna after the third woe, the water in all wars, they're gonna reverse it. They're gonna beat their swords and their plowing shears and their spring hooks, pruning hooks. They're gonna beat their swords and the plowshares and pruning hooks. Let me get that real quick, Salakia. This is Makkah, the fourth chapter. So, I want to see. Yeah, I just started the third verse. It says Makkah 4:3. It says, "And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowing shears and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore." So that's basically what's going to happen at the that's what's going to take that's what's going to take place. But right now they beating it. They doing the reverse road, which is talked about in Joel the third chapter. So after this third woe, the war to end all wars, which that's what the world terms it. That's where they get it from, because this is the last the last war. Nations will not learn war anymore. So I hope it was edifying, and I want to say, call Halayim La Yahawah by Hashem, YAHAWAHSHI by Hashem Rakakadash. Shalom to the next time, Yahweh Ratazah, which means Lord willing, and Wah Bob Abal.